know you're not clapping for me. Good evening, parents, family, friends, faculty, staff, and honored guests. It's my esteemed pleasure to welcome you to Winthrop High School's Senior Class Night, a celebration of achievements, perseverance, and spirit of the remarkable class of 2026. Tonight, we gather not only to recognize individual accomplishments, but to honor the collective journey of a class that has truly made its mark. We'll be celebrating nearly 21 student athletes who have excelled on the playing fields, 68 seniors who were honored for academic excellence at yesterday's senior town meeting, and the presentation of over 85 scholarships to 25 seniors, a powerful reflection of the dedication, talent, and potential that define this graduating class. This is something that is truly worth applauding. On Sunday afternoon, 48 students will walk across the stage and officially become Winthrop High School alumni. While this may seem like a smaller graduating class by the numbers, anyone who knows this group understands their impact reaches far beyond that. This class has made a presence felt in the classrooms, on athletic fields, on stages, in clubs, at work, and throughout our community. The class of 2026 is made up of students who are hardworking, dependable, and determined. They have challenged themselves, supported one another, and represented Winthrop High School with pride. They have led in different ways, some loudly, yeah, some quietly, but all leaving their mark through effort, character, and commitment. Personally, this class carries special meaning for me. 4 years ago, you were the first freshman class that I welcomed as principal of this high school. You guys remember that? Huh? That's when it all changed. I love Joshua. Love Rock. I've had the opportunity to watch all of you grow from ninth graders, finding your way into, as young adults, preparing for what comes next. It's been rewarding to see the progress you've made, not only in your accomplishments, but in the people you become. After graduation, your paths will take you in many different directions. Some of you are headed to four-year colleges and universities. Some will attend community college or technical programs. Many are entering the workforce, and a handful have chosen to serve in the military. Every one of those paths is valuable, and each represents opportunity, purpose, and growth. Tonight is about recognizing achievements, but before we do that, I want to acknowledge the people who helped make this moment possible. This is something that's sort of a tradition for me since I've done class night. So I want to ask the seniors to please stand. I want to ask all the seniors, even though it's dark, maybe it's darker for me because these lights are very bright, please take a look around the room. These are the people who encouraged you, supported you, challenged you, celebrated your success, and helped you throughout difficult moments. Families, teachers, coaches, mentors, friends, and community members have all played a role in helping you arrive here tonight. For the seniors, please join me in giving them, you give them, a well-deserved round of applause. See, aren't they great? They practice so well. Thank you all for being here tonight. Now let's celebrate the outstanding Winthrop High School class of 2026. Now we'll get to our speakers. It is tradition that our top academic scholars speak at graduation and class night. Of course, Abby and Grace will speak on Sunday during the commencement exercises. And Brianna and Brody will speak to you folks this evening. Our first student speaker is Brianna Rosenbaum. She is the daughter of Kate Rosenbaum and is planning to study psychology at the Dominican University of California. While it wasn't easy, Bree was able to handle what felt like a million extracurricular activities. She was part of the art club, made posters for the drama club, participated in student council, was a part of yearbook. She designed all the covers, and she was also on the student leadership team. She was also the vice president of Winthrop's National Honor Society chapter. Outside of school, Bree is a longtime Girl Scout, starting in 2nd grade, and she enjoys art. Please welcome Brianna Rosenbaum.
I have been ready to graduate before I ever set foot into our high school, and I know the feeling of having senioritis before even hitting senior year. I know I'm not alone in this feeling. Everyone who knows me knows how much I love our school and our lovely town, so I wasn't really sure what to write for a speech. I knew I didn't want it to be generic or boring, both of which will probably be. Is it bad to talk about my own experience at Winthrop? Maybe, but for a moment I would like you all to humor me. I have gone through the entirety of Winthrop Public Schools. I met a lot of my fellow graduates at a little school called Wonderwild Nursery School. There are people who have been in my life for almost its entirety. I witnessed so many changes. Friends changed, people changed, schools changed, and even trends changed. What's weird to me is that I look around at all these people I've known for so long, and I don't just see the people that they are today. I still see these silly little kids who collected Pokemon cards and the awkward preteens whose faces were covered by masks due to the pandemic. That might just be me though. I'm already ironically stuck in this weird nostalgia state, and I can't imagine how parents must feel. Another thing I felt very necessary to bring up was not a message about our class, but to our class. As my class knows, I have pretended to be an academic weapon my entire school career. And the most valuable thing I have genuinely learned doesn't come from a textbook or a syllabus. It's actually something we're born with that gets very overlooked. I'm talking about our emotions. I have been in classrooms where the laughter is louder than the bell. I have been in classrooms where an intense argument breaks out. I have been in classrooms where a student is crying. I've been in classrooms where exhaustion hits and students fall asleep in the most uncomfortable desks. We use our emotions every second, but it has been normalized to not acknowledge those feelings. My fellow AP Chem students watched a show on Chernobyl, the nuclear power plant that blew up. In the show, the main scientist explains that there's an imbalance in heat and coolant and that it can cause a reactor to explode. While we may not have the radiation of over 40,000 or 4,000 chest x-rays inside of us, we are much like that reactor. I have had first-hand experience trying to push my emotions down, and because I never really talked about them, it got to a point where I lost all hope. I should not be here today, nor should I be graduating in 2 days, which is crazy to me that I am. I will never stop telling people that what they're feeling is normal. I will never stop asking people if they're okay, and I will constantly over-apologize to the point of annoyance because I want people to see me as a person who understands them. I don't know if I've accomplished that, but I do know I've been yelled at for apologizing too much. So I'm sorry, I apologize. The whole point of me saying any of this is to emphasize the importance of taking care of your mental health. The real world everyone keeps talking about doesn't start when we leave high school. It started when we were born. Leaving here and going out into the world is going to be tough. And people are going to tell you that no one but yourself is looking out for you. That you need to suck it up and just deal with it. While I agree things might be tough, there are people who care. I promise you that. You aren't alone, you do matter. Your opinion and your voice matters. Your mental health matters. And if you only remember one thing I've said tonight, remember that it is in fact more than okay to ask for help. I'm proud of each and every one of you, even the people I'm not close with. I know you all will succeed in whatever you set your mind to. Thank you, class of 2026, for being an important part of my life.
Thank you, Bree, for your empathetic and insightful words. Our second student speaker is Brody Adams. He's the son of Ashley and Rob Adams and plans to attend Penn State University to study forensic science. While at Winthrop, Brody was involved in co-curriculars including football, baseball, and was part of the team that made the 2026 yearbook. As an athlete, Brody played 4 years of football and baseball, earning a varsity letter in both sports. Brody served as captain of the football team his senior year. In his spare time, Brody enjoys hunting, golfing, spending time outside, and enjoying quality time with friends and family. Another leader in our classrooms, please welcome Brody Adams.
As we stand here today, on the cusp of something new, celebrating the culmination of years of hard work, I want to talk about something that's been just as crucial as any textbook or test, our friendships. Class of 2026, look at the faces around you. These are the people who have shared this incredible journey. These are the people with whom you've had sleepovers, been on teams, gone on trips, cried with, laughed with, and maybe a little bit of DDDing. Friendships aren't just about having someone to hang out with. They're the foundation of our support system. The laughter in our toughest moments and the quiet understanding when words aren't enough. These bonds have seen us through everything, from academic challenges to personal growth. And they're what truly make this chapter of our lives so memorable and meaningful. As we look back at this time of our lives, when we have kids that have given us a few gray hairs and a bad back, we're not going to remember reading books for Miss Lancaster, or having no idea what's going on in math class. We're going to remember the people next to us, your closest friends, and the memories you shared with them. True friendship means lifting each other up. It means being genuinely happy for someone's triumphs, big or small. When a classmate achieves something amazing, whether it's getting to their dream school, landing a great job, or simply overcoming a personal hurdle, that's a moment for all of us to celebrate. Those successes aren't just individual wins, they reflect the spirit and potential of our entire class. They show us what's possible and inspire us to reach higher. Conversely, real friendship means leaving behind the negativity. As we move forward, let's commit to celebrating each other's successes loudly and proudly, and completely let go of any urge to dwell on someone's struggles, losses, or insecurities. Most, if not all of us, have insecurities, right? So what makes my insecurities any better than yours? Why gossip and make fun of people's struggles when you also have them? They may be different, but they matter to us. These struggles and insecurities are personal, and true friends offer support and empathy, not judgment. Our time together has shown us the power of unity and positive reinforcement. Let's carry that forward, always choosing to build each other up, to be each other's biggest cheerleaders, and to create a legacy of genuine kindness and genuine connection. As we step out into the world, life will take us in different directions, and that's exciting. But let's not forget the power of what we have built here. These friendships remind us where we came from, the shared experiences that shaped us, and the familiar faces that will always bring a smile. Congratulations to the class of 2026, and let's be there for each other wherever life takes us. Thank you.
Good afternoon, parents, family, friends, staff, and students. My name is J.U. Ford, and I'm the principal of Winthrop High School. On behalf of Winthrop Public Schools, it is an honor and pleasure to welcome you to the commencement exercises of Winthrop High School. This afternoon, we gather to recognize our 48 graduating seniors from the class of 2026. Please join me in welcoming the faculty and staff of Winthrop High School, Winthrop Middle School, and Winthrop Grade School. I'd also like to take a moment to recognize our junior class marshal, Gianni Paisley. In my speech on Friday evening, last night, I announced how special this class was to me, as they are the first group of students to start at Winthrop High School when I took the job as principal 4 years ago. Time certainly goes fast. The older you get, the faster it seems to go. As seniors, these are the best years of your life. So I hope that you will take the time to soak in these moments and really enjoy them. This wouldn't be a principal's graduation speech without some words of wisdom and advice. I certainly learned that this group, they do listen. They do hear me when I speak. It may just take a little time to really sink in. More than a few of the graduates behind me have given me some added gray hairs over the last 4 years. Graduates, interactive. Raise your hand if you think you added to my gray hair collection somehow or some way. That's all right. Yet what I can tell all of you, all of their family and friends, is that they've grown, they've matured, and they've persevered. They've gone through some pretty intense and interesting things over the last 4 years in high school. How do I know this? Well, you see, as I get older, I tend to be a bit of a nerd about some things. I like looking at statistics. And I love doing research on current trends, particularly how the world of teenagers and the paradigm of education is rapidly shifting. What I discovered is that this class should be given a ton of credit for the work they've done and the culture they've rebuilt here at WHS and our great community. Here are some of the things I discovered through my research that this class has endured and has persevered through since they began as freshmen, and why their efforts should be acknowledged and admired. 1. This class is the first to arrive in high school after the COVID-19 pandemic. And while some think that the pandemic is now well in the rearview mirror, this class had to endure the shutdown and a massive shift in schools during their middle school years. Middle school is very difficult for most kids by itself. And over the last 4 years, we've asked this class to shift back to the new normal. This is perseverance. 2. This group has worked hard after COVID to swing the pendulum in the other direction with regard to student involvement in athletics and co-curricular activities. These kids were involved in high school. They played multiple sports. They volunteered in the community, and they got involved in lots of clubs and activities. While participation numbers were at an all-time low during the pandemic, and just after, we can thank the class of 2026 for helping to rebuild the school experience. This is rediscovery. 3. Schools across the country are struggling with attendance issues. This class was certainly not immune to that, and several graduates next to me had some highs and lows when it came to their own attendance, right? But as these kids got involved in the school experience, found their voice, found their crowd, found their niche, connections improved, identities came into focus, School became more meaningful, so attendance became important. This is belonging. 4, since this class began high school, mental health and well-being in teens is now on everyone's radar. Mental health is so important for everyone, especially when it comes to our students. Yet it's important to mention that in the last 4 years, this topic is more openly discussed by students, allowing educators, parents, and others to help kids in school manage their mental well-being and find balance. This is awareness. AI arrived on scene halfway through this high school's class. The ease of AI and using ChatGPT to write my lab report for Ms. Virgil, or to refine my essay for Mrs. Lancaster's English class. But I know these young adults have learned to use AI as a tool, not a replacement for individual thought. And yes, I wrote this speech. Maybe I'm old-fashioned, but there is nothing more important than your own voice. This is ownership. With this class, phones and social media in the last 4 years have shifted from entertainment to quickly becoming a teenager's identity and primary form of communication. Yet I know from talking to all these graduates and observing their day-to-day interactions with friends and peers that they know the value of face-to-face conversation. They enjoy talking to people, they advocate for themselves, or they advocate for themselves, and they rely on their friendships. They love spending time with family and wouldn't trade that for anything. This is connection. 7, similarly, schools are shifting away from an dependence on technology and moving toward more in-person teaching, with less tech and more human connection and interaction. Year after year arrived, these students experienced laptops that were more locked down, and cell phone policies that restricted device use during academic time. Yet I believe these students appreciate the rapid but necessary shift. This is engagement. 8, in the 4 years your kids have been in high school, careers in the trades have surged. Not every graduate wants or needs to go to a 4-year college. Many of our graduates are going to trade or technical schools, while several already have jobs and will be going right into the workforce. Many don't know this about me, but if I wasn't an educator, I'd be just as happy being a carpenter. This is purpose. Last but not least, now. With the class of 2026, we see an increase in student voice and choice. Now educators understand that one traditional path in school is not always the right path, nor is that path for everyone. Members of this class have helped me realize that more and more over the last 4 years, and the staff at Westbrook High School endeavor to better meet the needs of all of our students. This is belief. Perseverance, rediscovery, belonging, awareness, ownership, connection, engagement, purpose, and belief. All extremely important and powerful leadership qualities that the young adults behind me and next to me have both practiced and refined during the years at WHS. These seniors are ready for their next chapters of their lives, and through hard work and perseverance will actively shape their next steps in the distant and not so distant future. Seniors, I certainly hope that something I said will resonate with you today. As educators and as parents, we plant seeds in the minds of our children. We nurture them, and over time, we watch the fruits of our labor grow into strong, independent, and motivated young adults. This is all of you. Class of 2026, I wish you the very best. Congratulations. I know that all of you will do great things. At this time, I'd like to welcome our first student speaker to the podium, salutatorian Grace Schramm. kinesiology. During her time at Winthrop, Grace was involved in student council, peer mentoring program, leadership team, and the math team. She has also been a member of the National Society since her junior year and served as secretary. As an athlete, Grace ran for 4 years of cross country and was involved in lacrosse, basketball, and track. Grace served as captain of the girls cross country team, basketball, and lacrosse teams. In the community, Grace has dedicated her time to earn over 100 hours of community service. Her favorite volunteer experience was helping youth girls basketball program and the running club. She's been working in aerobic shows for over 3 years. In her spare time, Grace enjoys running, napping, reading rom-coms, and being with friends and family. Our class of 2026 salutatorian, Grace Shank.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Grace Brown, and I want to start off by saying a huge thank you to my family, friends, Mr. Dufour, WHS faculty, my coaches, my teachers, and everyone else who helped us get to this very special day. Because Lord knows the class of 2026 is a lot of work. One thing people never really enjoy about school is waking up in the morning and having to actually get out of bed, which becomes naturally more comfortable only in the morning for some reason. Now, I don't know about everyone else's morning schedule before they go to school, whether they wake up hours early to get themselves ready, or like many of my peers here, wake up 10 minutes before school actually starts. I was waking up around 6:30 with a precise schedule of getting dressed, brushing my teeth, doing my hair, breakfast, making sure I got everything for school, and the one thing I heard almost every day before school, while opening my garage door, my mom excitedly saying, "Be strong and courageous." You would think hearing this every morning would get awfully sick and tiring, but surprisingly, I actually look forward to hearing these four truly meaningful words come out of her mouth. She would literally be sitting, staring at her computer, wouldn't even look at my brother now before we left the garage door, and just yell the words away. But one thing I truly love about this message is how you use it. Be strong and courageous. I'm going to school, save out my test, trying to learn a signal while I'm in chemistry. Shout out Miss Merkel. So how can I be brave while doing so? Turns out it wasn't the little meetings that made me so brave that I'm like a knight in shining armor, ready to slay the dragon with my sword, rather than slowly raise my hand, wielding a mechanical pencil instead. Is how I was brave. Just like everyone else here, who was so brave and courageous without even realizing. Being strong and courageous can come with little things. You could be mentally strong, which you have to be if you're sitting up here on the stage, or you can be courageous, sitting here in front of everyone, waiting for the moment to grab a well-earned diploma and smile brightly when those who work front and center. The quote my mom says every morning is my absolute favorite, and I'm now using the time I have here to share with you guys, our graduates. Whether you decide to go to college, work, or take a gap year, remember to be brave as new things are coming our way. New experiences, friends, classes, work, and a new environment where we have to adapt. With adaptation comes growth, and with growth comes strength. And you can't be strong without being courageous. A special quote by my mother. Class of 2026, I'm truly so proud of the people who have become, and cannot wait to see your future endeavors. This is a very bittersweet moment, but I'm so glad we get to share the privilege of having each other as classmates. Together, we all make each other stronger and more courageous. In the end, I want you to use these 4 words as your motivation to do it strongly, do it courageously, and most importantly, find someone in your life who reminds you to do so, because I know I did. Thank you, everyone, and congrats to the class of 2026.
Nice job, Grace. This time, I'd like to welcome our second student speaker to the podium, valedictorian Abigail Sinclair. Abby is the daughter of Patrick and Christine Sinclair, who plans to attend the Rochester Institute of Technology to study mechanical engineering and Mandarin and play varsity soccer. While at Winthrop, Abby was a member of the art club and the president of the National Honor Society, while simultaneously serving on student council. Abby Abby was also a member of the yearbook club and was a student representative to the school board. As an athlete, Abby played 4 years of varsity soccer and was captain during her junior and senior years. She won a national soccer championship during her freshman year with the New England Football Club and has played semi-pro soccer with the Maine Footy since her sophomore year. In the community, Abby volunteers at the Travis Mills Foundation to help prepare meals for visiting veterans and at the YMCA Youth Soccer Camp. In her free time, Abby enjoys crocheting, reading, stained glass, and cooking. Without further ado, our class of 2026 valedictorian, Abby St. Clair.
Standing here today, I think it's easy to look future and proud context. But before we rush forward, I think it's important to pause and appreciate the people around us here. None of us did this alone. Behind every late night, every success, even every failure, there were people supporting us. So I'd like to say thank you to our parents, family members, teachers, coaches, bosses, and to everyone who has made this moment possible. You have supported us, given us a motivated wake up call every now and then, and challenged us to become the best versions of ourselves. And as some of us prepare to become the first time, especially remember to keep your parents in mind, maybe give them a call every now and then, even when you're not asking for money. As I look to the future, even now, and I haven't heard of young colleagues in 10 years, I can't help but think of my grandpa. He is an engineer who is still working in his career even after 75 years. He's 97 years old, served in the Korean War, raised 6 successful children, one of which is my lovely mother who's here for me today, with a wife of 44 years. When he returned from the Korean War, he was tasked by Pratt & Whitney with the job of presenting parameters for guns, titanium, and nuclear material. This grinding data is still used in aircraft, aesthetics, and everyday necessities. Today, he is continuing to work with colleagues from around the world to invent new possibilities that will someday revolutionize the manufacturing process. He's constantly learning and challenging himself to be better and improve our lives. And that's what stands out to us, not just what he's accomplished, but the way he's chosen to live his life. Always curious, always driven, and always looking for ways to make a difference. So I challenge you, my fellow classmates, carry that same mindset with you as you go into the world. Ask yourself, how can I make a positive impact? How can I change the world around me? Because I know every one of you is capable of it. And as you move into these environments, stay true to yourself, genuine, trust your emotions. Be a difference in the lives of those around you, tutors, mates, coaches, professors, bosses, friends, every place that has been found. And finally, I'd like to leave everyone with this last message. Whatever you do, give it your all. Whether you're leaving here in college, grade school, taking a gap year, or entering the workforce and military, make the most of every opportunity. I'm sure we all heard many times, miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Carry that mindset with you into the future, and don't be afraid to take a chance. And the wise words of Lloyd, one of the greatest female soccer players ever, and someone who has faced her own share of adversity passed on, if you're not making mistakes, then you're not doing anything. As we begin this new chapter of our lives, we should not be afraid to fail, we should instead embrace it. The lessons and wisdom we gain from failure can be immeasurable, and the fear of it should never stop you from pursuing your dreams. Once again, thank you to everyone who supported along the way, and to my fellow graduates, I wish you all the best and see you in an exciting future. And now it's my honor to introduce the person who has retired the most times in Winthrop history by only working here for the past 4 years. Over the course of his 30-year career, he spent the first and especially
a well-earned round of applause for the class of 2026. Well, your long journey to Winthrop High School has been completed, and you should be very proud of all that you've accomplished. It probably went a lot faster than you thought, and that's a good thing. First, I want you to know that I'm truly honored and appreciative that you asked me to be your guest speaker, and hopefully I might give you some insight that might be helpful as you continue your life's journey. Before I begin to bore you with my words of wisdom, I'd like you to take a few moments to do a couple things for me. First, I want you to congratulate each other, okay? Because you had a long journey and you've all made it together. So, again, congratulate yourself. Second, look into the crowd. Give thanks to those people that helped you get through the last 4 years. Give them a thumbs up, a wave, a nod. Finally, I'd like to acknowledge those school staff members that you lead on and that have assisted you through the maze of high school and make this day possible. They may be here, they may not be here. If you're here, wave to them. If not, just kind of hold them in your thoughts. I'd like to begin with a story. On June 25th, 1970, we're still Connecticut. I was sitting right where you were sitting. And graduating, I was finally graduating. People got up to speak. But like you, I just wanted to get my diploma and leave. My graduation exercise started at 6 p.m., where we heard speaker after speaker tell us a million things that we were going to encounter after leaving high school. Finally, at 7:30, the main speaker, I think it was the mayor of our city, stood up to the microphone. Rumor had it that his speech was going to be an hour long. And then our class, all 518 of us, would be receiving our diplomas. So we were looking at not leaving before 10 p.m. We were packed into an auditorium that held about 3,000 people. The weather was 95 degrees, thank God it's not today, with high humidity, thunderstorms in the air. As the main speaker began his remarks, I could hear someone behind me murmur. I turned around, and there was my good friend, Ernie Gitter, or Eddie. I asked him what he was doing. He said, I'm praying that there will be a power failure. I turned around, laughed. About 15 seconds went by, and as luck would have it, there was a loud crash, and the power went out. We waited in the dark for about 10 minutes, and then we were told to go home. We later found out that a bolt of lightning had hit the transformer by our school. So the lesson I learned that day, I learned two very important things. One, don't mess with Ernie. Two, keep speeches short, which I tend to do. When I was asked if I would like to speak with you folks today, my mind wandered for the first time that I met you folks. It was January 2022 at the middle school. Your first math teacher had abruptly left, and I was asked to teach math to you folks every other day for the remainder of the year. Remember what I told you? I asked if you would run off the previous math teacher, and you laughed, which answered my question. I told you that come June, I would still be teaching you. Well, in spite of many computers being thrown in trash cans and one either out the window, we have made it through today and this eventful year. And I've had the pleasure of watching you become outstanding young women and men. Today, you will leave Winthrop High School, having endured many different, difficult, wonderful experiences. And you will be avoiding pitfalls and challenges while continuing on this adventure we call life. Some of you will continue with your formal education by going to college, while others will will be going to the School of Hard Knocks by joining the workforce, service to our country, or just taking a gap year. Whatever you learn, take risks, make mistakes, then learn from those mistakes. And there's no doubt in my mind that you will be successful. Being 135 years old, how you are listening? I have followed 3 basic principles. Though you may not understand them right now, I was about 35 at the time I figured it out. Keep them in the back of your mind for further reference. These principles are: treat others as you would like to be treated. Be fair and just in all dealings with people. And finally, most importantly, be true to yourself. Let me try to explain these principles. See, I can't. As you progress through your life journey, you will encounter many unusual situations that could result in undesirable or uncomfortable outcomes. Don't waste your time blaming someone else and treating others with the disrespect that you would not like to have thrust upon you. Rather, dig deep into your soul. See what you could have done to make the situation better. Be mindful of the person who you are dealing with. Nurture and treat them with respect that you would like to enjoy and you would want. You only have so much time in this world. Don't waste it with needless bull. I'll stop there. Try to find the positive in each situation and better yourself and the people around you. Being a math guy, relating everything to numbers, I'm a firm believer that 90% of your life is controlled by others. Make sure that you make your 10% count and use those things that are important to you. Next, always treat people with the respect they earn. Always give everyone a fair and equal chance to earn your respect and give them a chance to regain the respect that they may have lost. If they have earned none, then just walk away. Accept people for who they are and relish the many friends that you have made and that you will make. Learn from these folks. Enjoy your moments together. Finally, and most important, be yourself. You have learned when someone is BSing you, and after listening to their garbage, have reacted in a negative way. Unfortunately, in your eyes, that person has lost all credibility, and for them, to regain respect and believability is what they say is nearly impossible. Don't be that guy or gal who tries to be something that you are not. Be who you are, even if it makes some people uncomfortable. You will be respected when all is said and done. You might say how. A wise old person told me something the day I graduated in 1970. He said, look in the mirror and see who you're going to fool today. You're probably saying, that doesn't make sense. Funny, I had that same reaction. But as I got older, and my parents and grandparents got smarter, and you grandparents and parents understand what I'm talking about, I began to understand what this wise man meant. This wise old man was my dad, and was my hero. Hopefully, there will come a time you will get my meaning and apply it to your everyday life. Enough! Being old, I get tired quicker. So let me end by saying congratulations to you, the class of 2026. Enjoy the moment because you've earned it. You've come a long way, and I can't wait for you to begin the next adventure of your life. Good luck. Have a happy and rewarding life. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bear, for your kind and inspiring words. And also, thank you, Mr. Bear, for keeping PG-13. As the superintendent is behind me, and I think my evaluation is scheduled for later on this week. How about another round of applause for Mr. Bear? And now, musical interlude. The class of 2026 will be performing their class song, My Way, by our student band. Good job, guys. I'd like to take a moment to remember a fallen class member from the class of 2026. As the class of 2026 gets ready to take their next steps, we think of the steps it took to get here. We think of the people who have come and gone. One person the class wants to remember is Aiden Ridley. Aiden suddenly passed away on September September 29, 2016. You will always remember him. He is forever a Rambler. So as we close this chapter, we keep him in our hearts and minds. Thank you, everyone. Now, I take the moment everybody's been waiting for, the presentation of diplomas. Presenting diplomas today are myself, Board of Education Chairperson Alicia Lawson, and Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Becky Foley. I'd like to call our senior class president, Elia Gongo, to the stage to announce the names for our graduating seniors. With the marshal, please prepare the graduates.
Brody Adams. Brody will attend Penn State University, major in foreign science. Brock Noir. Brock will be joining the Army with the Rainbow. Brady Schumann. Brady will attend Ohio State University, major in business. Christopher Bressy. Crew will attend Northern Maine Community College, major in structural work. Olivia Curie. Olivia will attend North Carolina University, major in health science. Evan N. Boldo. Evan will attend County University, major in business. John Jackson Orr. Jackson will attend the University of Kansas, major in aerospace. Emily Ange Penman. Emily will attend the University of Maine at Augusta, major in nursing. Benjamin Warren Porter. Ben will attend the Associate Degree for Religion and Finance. Jacob Matthew Fife. Jacob will attend Hudson University, major in pre-law. Dylan Weymouth. Dylan will attend Central Community College, major in electrical construction. Grace Elizabeth Drown. Grace will attend the University of Illinois, major in community college. Keenan Libby. Keenan will attend Ohio State University, major in history on pre-law. Connor Hasty. Connor will attend New College, major in radiology tech. Riley Marie Patterson. Riley will attend the University of Colorado, major in mathematics. Abigail Rose St. Clair. Abigail will attend Rochester Institute of Technology, major in mechanical engineering and management. Luke Hopkins. Luke will be working for Lady Church. Richard Phillips. Richard will join the workforce. Cristiano Carlos Pedro. Cristiano will attend Central Community College, major in building studies. Cole Buzzle. Cole will join the workforce. Will Goodsey. Will attend Science major in hairstyle and barbering. Kaylee McKay. Kaylee will attend Yorktown Community College, major in criminal arts and design. Isaiah Libby. Isaiah will be joining the army. Madeline Denise Marks. Maddie will attend Bayback University's Asian Studies. Jaden Ventus. Jaden will attend Central Maine Community College, David Research. Tristan Whitney. Tristan will be joining the workforce. Joshua Vincent Ellis. Joshua is in Central Maine Community College, majoring in auto technology. Sladen Nutt. Sladen will attend Mason Frost. Mason will be taking the national. Lydia Rose St. Amant. Lydia will attend the Noah Brandon. Noah will attend the Kobe A. Drake. Kobe is the senior for years volunteer. Erin Scott Murphy. Erin will attend the majoring in marine biology and aquaculture. Dylan D.K. Flynn. Dylan will be working in Lincoln County. Brent Bree Sutter. Brent will attend Central Maine Community College, majoring in nursing. Jacob Dodd. Jacob will be working for South Central College. Hunter Robbins. Hunter will be working for Central College. Chase Avery. Chase will be working. Abigail Woodruff. Abigail wants to attend University of Michigan and Columbia University. Bree Roosevelt. Sonny Ryan. Sonny was in the with the gold winner in computer science and mathematics. Catherine Ruth Diane Cluster. Catherine was in the New York American Psychology. Tristan Chapman. Ethan T. Longflag. Ethan was
Thank you, Goliath. You did a great job. Now, it's your turn. Goliath Gongo. Goliath will attend Huston University, majoring in occupational therapy. Want another round of applause for our 2026 class. It is now my pleasure to certify to the superintendent of schools that each member of the graduating class of 2026 here assembled has satisfactorily met the requirements of the state of Maine and the Winthrop Board of Education. I therefore present to you Dr. Becky Foley, the class of 2026.
Good afternoon, everyone. I pray that y'all are doing well. My name is Glenn Gongo, and before I begin, I would like to thank all the moms and dads, the aunts and uncles, the grandmas and grandpas, the brothers and sisters, and of course, our cousins for being a part of the last 17, 18, and for some of us, 19 years of our lives. Even though we don't show it as much, deep down it means a lot knowing we have people in our lives that love us, support us, take care of us, and help us in times of need. So Mama and Papa, merci beaucoup for always believing in me and pushing me to be the best I can be. There's an African proverb that says, it takes an entire village to raise a child. And what that means is that it takes the effort, love, and kindness of the people around us to help us learn, grow, and become better human beings. And for the past 3 years, Winthrop has been my village. At first, I never liked Winthrop, even though I knew nothing about this town, nor the people that lived in it. I was simply just another 15-year-old, scared to let go of what was and not acknowledging what can be. But after starting school and joining the football team, I realized I was blessed with a town filled with culture and a close-knit community. Despite the fact that I recently moved here, which made me somewhat of an outcast since everyone knew each other practically since birth, this community welcomed me with open arms, and with that, I was treated with nothing but kindness, love, and support. In all honesty, I'm glad that I gave Winthrop a chance. After months of ignoring my parents and plotting how I could go back to my old school, I settled down. And that was probably one of the best decisions in my life. And now here I am, today on June 7th, which is also 6-7, if y'all know. In the year 2026, which is crazy, because just a couple years ago, it felt like an eternity away. But here I am, as a class president, a football state champion, and a soon-to-be grad, amongst his fellow classmates, teammates, and friends. Winthrop has taught me a lot of things. One of the things it's taught me is how to be a Rambler. Even though it's a look, my bad. Even though it seems like a big old yellow school bus with a huge smile on it, it signifies pride, hard work, and teamwork. And I was able to find myself within that bus. I learned how to work hard for myself and for others, how to be selfless and to be kind and respectful no matter what. Because at the end of the day, you simply don't know what the person next to you is going through on a day-to-day basis. So thank you, Winthrop. Thank you for being the village that I can call home. And thank you to the class of 2026 for the memories we made in the last 3 years. From the little explosions in our hearts right before football games, or any games in that matter, to the prayers before anatomy tests, from the screaming and shouting during March Madness, and the belief that March Madness was always rigged for our seniors. We ended up losing, so. Hopefully, I guess, trip someday. Right. As you slowly flip this page towards the new chapter in our lives, I want you to remember your childhood and to look back every now and then, and to remember who you are and where you came from. To remember all the challenges you faced and overcome, all the times it felt like you couldn't but did. I want you to remember that there will always be hardships in life, no matter what you do. So if you're ever feeling disheartened and that you're somehow not enough, set your heart ablaze. Dry your eyes and look ahead. You may feel like digging your heels in, but the flow of time waits for no one. It won't patiently stand by as you breathe. So I encourage you today to not wait for the sun to rise another day. Like my old coach used to say, fall down 7 times, stand up 8. As a reminder to always get back up and fight for what's yours. And as you leave these doors today, may you chase your dreams, may you live a wonderful life, and make yourself proud. May you uplift not only yourself, but the people around you as well. May you keep moving forward, no matter how hard it gets, and to remember that there is no such thing as a painless lesson. They just don't exist. It is simply impossible to gain something without losing something first in return. But if you can endure that pain and walk away from it, you will find you now have a heart strong enough to overcome any obstacle. A heart made full of metal. And to the class of 2026, I want you to know that no matter where we meet in life, just know you'll always be my friend. And I pray that the people that are here today and the people that weren't able to make it will continue to support and love you for the rest of your life. Thank you to all my teachers, coaches, and the parents for all the love and support you have given me. Thank you to all the friends I made here, and to Beach Street Boys. And also thank you to LeBron Renault team for all the wonderful things he's done in my life. As life hands you this pen, just know that this is not the end, but a new beginning where you get to be the author of your own story. So I hope that you stay kind, hopeful, and hardworking. And always remember, stay classy, members. Now for the moment we've all been waiting for. flipping the page, and turning the tassel.